All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kubernetes SIG IBM Cloud meeting today on March 27th, 2019. My name is Sadeh Zala. I'm one of the SIG leads, and I'm your meeting host today. Please keep in mind that this is a public meeting and it's being recorded. We will make this recording available on the YouTube Kubernetes channel. So be considerate of what you speak about. And I have put the agenda on the chat, so the link for the agenda, so please take a look. We have Shishong Shang from SysTick today on the call. Shishong, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Shishong Shang. I'm actually a member of operation team from SysTick. And in the past few years, I've been actively working as part of the OpenStack community and later on in the Kubernetes community. For quite a long time, I was leading the Kubernetes community here in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina. And today I'm going to talk about the SysTick SaaS platform built on top of IBM Cloud.
All right, that is great, Shishang. Thank you so much. Are you going to share your screen, or are you not sharing anything, more talking, or?
Yeah, I can try to. I can share.
Okay, I mean, if you have things to share, that would be great. Otherwise, I will be sharing the agenda, afterwards. So yeah, please feel free to share.
Sure. Just quick introduction. Yeah, so for the people who is not quite familiar with SysTick, just like a 1 minute introduction. SysTick has been a company working on a monitoring solution starting from Linux. We have a very interesting special technology which can create a matrix regarding the Linux kernel. And recently, as you might already aware of, SysTick actually is walking into the container world. What I'm trying to talk about today is our container SaaS services on IBM IKS Cloud. IKS stands for IBM Kubernetes Service. So some of you might already be very familiar with the term SaaS, or software as a service. So this particular project is trying to offer SysTick as a software of a service for IBM users who use IBM's container services. So in other words, if you are IBM's customer and you are using IKS as the underlying platform, then at the time when you log into the Bluemix, from the service catalog, you are able to choose SysTick monitoring solution as part of your service offering combination, right? But that means you not only work with IBM directly and also behind the thing, you're actually indirectly working with SysTick. In case you have any issues, based on the flow, you can create a technical support case, work with IBM support, and if any specific issue and concerns regarding a SysTick, and then in this case, IBM is going to route the ticket to us, and we're going to provide you the support. So that is what we have been trying to build in the past year, in the past 6 months. I'm sorry. So as of today, we already turned on SysTick SaaS offering in IBM region Dallas, the U.S. South region, which covers the data center in Dallas. And we recently launched the service in Europe, in the data center somewhere in Germany. And last week we turned on the switch for another region, the EUGB, which is the London region in the Europe. So if you pay attention to the IBM announcement, it will be more region, more data center, going to be going to be able to provide the services in the future, right? So that's really exciting. So here, what I'm trying to quickly go through is our testing environment. I've been working with IBM, the Kubernetes service team, and they're helping us to build this environment we can go use for the testing purpose. And surely today, as an audience, you may not be able to jump onto this particular environment, but as long as you have a Bluemix ID, you can log into the Bluemix console, and just as a regular user with no special configurations, you can still go there and consume SysTick services from the service catalog. So here, as you might already see, I already logged in with my Bluemix ID. If you have been using Bluemix console before, you can go there and do observe, right? Observe is, in my opinion, is nothing but a service catalog in the terms of Kubernetes. Here you can see that, I have a login services and also have a monitoring service. What you saw here is a few SysTick dashboard we already created. I don't want to go to the nuts and bolts to those details. Try to give you some feeling of what the SaaS offering looks like and what it feels like on IKS. Here you can create an instance, and afterwards, our system actually calls the service broker created and maintained by IBM. This service broker is going to pull a lot of metadata information from our system. Here you can see, I want to, so user is also is a SysTick, means this is a service packet provided by the SysTick. And you can see the current, by default, the location is Dallas. As I already mentioned, this is the US South region. Here, you can choose whatever the service name as you want, and here you can also identify which region you want to launch this service. Right here in this testing environment is limited to US South. This is the metadata actually came out from our servers. Talk about what this SysTick instance is about. What are some features you're going to enjoy as IBM customer, and give you some like a quick overview what the dashboard is going to look like. And here, actually, this is the key thing. You can choose the pricing plan. By default, you can choose a trial. In this year, the features and metrics collected by our agent is going to be available to you for 30 days. And in this case, you only have a limited number of agent and also the limited number of container you can monitor. And as an alternative, you can also choose a pay plan, which is a granted. You can already see the price information here. So this is what you saw here is actually the tight integration between SysTick platform, which is very similar to the on-premises solution, as you might already see in the different environment, and the service broker, which is actually built by IBM, specifically, particularly for SysTick. And by doing so, as a user, you can see this. You can grab a matrix from your Kubernetes node. You can also grab a matrix from your regular Linux node, or just grab a metric from any machine running Docker container, either based on the Docker engine or containerd, and send the metrics over here. And eventually, you're going to show your metrics. You're going to show up in the dashboard and the panel. So this is something I personally believe is very interesting. Actually, make me feel very excited because of this particular integration. Some other things which is also amazing we've been working on is the integration between IBM's application load balancer, right, to support load balancing across different data centers for each particular region. As you might already imagine, for the purpose of providing maximum redundancy and resiliency, we put our data across different zones, even in the same region. Using US South as an example, we actually took Dallas data center 10 and 12 and 13. So our data spread across all of these three different data centers, so we can have a maximum redundancy and resiliency in case there's anything goes wrong. So that's pretty much the information I want to deliver in this talk. If you have any questions, feel free to ping me offline. I think the host of this SIG has my contact information. Feel free to drop me email, and I'll be more than happy to share more detail with you.
Well, all right, Shashank, thank you so much. Any questions? So just for just quick question, Shashank. So the Kubernetes service by SysDig, I know it's not only the IBM Cloud, but other Kubernetes-based platform, they also use it. Is it more like an, I'm sure not a generic one, but catered for the need of customer, right? But it's still around Kubernetes basically supports the versioning also. I was wondering, like the latest, how latest it stays with the support in general.
Yes, we support due to there are not much different versions we can support. Our recently, let me step back. Originally, we support a Docker engine. So all those Kubernetes release use Docker engine. But recently, because of containerd, the product started to introduce the support of containerd-based container in the context of orchestrated by the container. Orchestrated by the Kubernetes. But for the SaaS offering we built in IBM's Kubernetes service environment, we previously run we previously run the Kubernetes version 1.10, and for the new data center, we started to build our SaaS offerings on top of the 1.11 release. And in the future, if we continue to grow our business across the whole globe, I'm pretty sure we're going to keep up with the Kubernetes version offered by the IBM IKS.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
What sort of footprint or overhead does this impose on the IKS cluster? I'm just trying to understand what gets deployed and how much resources that takes.
Yes, yes. We actually build our IK. We actually build our IKS environment first. For the different region, depending on the predicted number of servers, a different number of Kubernetes environment versus just traditional Linux environment versus environment for different orchestrators. We actually come out with a sizing for that particular site, but usually we start from 3 nodes, 3 dedicated physical nodes, and run our SysTick cluster on top of it, right? Like I already mentioned, every region we choose 3 different data centers, and then each node actually goes to one of those data centers for redundancy. And while in case there's any the customer grows, rapid growth, in that case we can scale horizontally by adding more worker nodes. The largest nodes at this moment for US South, we have thousands of agents running. So that was that's one of the biggest deployment at this moment. But with that being said, for the different regions, just because they recently launched, they may not have the same level of customers and also the traffic. But like I said, in the future, it'll be pretty positive if they're going to grow or even exceed the current size of the load in the US South.
So what you're describing was kind of for the footprint for your SaaS offering, I guess, right? I was just wondering if I create a 10-node IKS cluster, what do you install on there in order to get the dashboards and so on? Do you run it within the customer's Kubernetes cluster, or do you? No. I assume you run some agents or something.
Yes, that's actually a great question. Let me clarify. The SaaS offering is actually hosted in IKS, right? So in other words, we go to IBM, we create IKS cluster, and then deploy every single component of our SysTick service package using container orchestrated by IKS. So that is on our SaaS side.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so but if you're the IBM customer, and at the time when you choose a SysTick as a monitoring solution, you have a key you're going to obtain a key for all of those agents, right, running on your own system. So in other words, as the IBM customer, you can either use a SysTick agent to monitor your local Linux-based environment, or you can use our agent to monitor your own Kubernetes cluster. Where is your Linux environment? Where is your Kubernetes environment? That has nothing to do with IBM IKS. It can be anywhere.
Right.
So the metrics collected by SysTick agent is going to be sent to the SysTick backend system running on IBM IKS.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that. Yeah. I was just wondering what the overhead of the agent itself is when it's deployed on. It's minimal, I guess.
Yeah, it's very minimal. We have not heard any complaint from our customer.
Okay.
Yeah, for the resource consumed by the agent at this moment. So in summary, our backend are deployed on IKS, and the agent are actually deployed anywhere our IBM customer choose to, and send the traffic to our backend running on IKS. And by the way, this is one of the very good example that our SysTick platform can actually run inside container and orchestrated by Kubernetes. Just not only true for the SaaS offerings, but this is also true for any on-premises customers. In other words, they run their own instance of Sysdig, and they can manage by themselves.
Yeah, so I have some questions. So I would think Sysdig contains several components, and it has the alternative of, for example, in Prometheus world, we call it node exporter, right? So that in Sysdig, you may have the similar things running as a daemon set to connect the local work nodes metrics, right? So you have that, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so, and also to adapt to the standards of Prometheus metrics, which is the label pair based metric. So can you seamlessly collect the existing metrics which has been developed using the Prometheus library?
This is some questions. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Based on my understanding, the support of Prometheus metrics has been evolving release by release.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, please send an email and I can redirect your question to the product team.
Okay.
Like I said, we do see our customers send Prometheus metrics to us, and our dashboard can actually group them and project those metrics.
Okay.
So render those metrics on our dashboard.
So does that mean, in other words, if I don't have already, for example, assets which is based on Prometheus, so I want to report custom metrics to Sysdig, I can use your library or SDK to do that, right?
Okay, we have a lot of customers sending customer metrics to us.
I got it. I got it.
Any issues there?
Yeah, I used to use. Anyway, it's more too detailed. So another question is, I think the storage side is outside IKS, right? Not inside IKS.
We actually use it's actually the block storage from software layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because IKS underneath they use software layer. So every infrastructure related resource we use software layer. For example, like you mentioned, storage, we use a block of storage offered by software layer. Yeah.
No, my exact question is, for example, if I think of Prometheus, so Prometheus, when we spin up a Prometheus server, so actually the Prometheus server should attach a storage to it, right? Because Prometheus server is also the scraper to scrap the Prometheus metrics back. And when it comes to Sysdig, if I develop a custom Sysdig metric, so is that I directly push to Sysdig server, or Sysdig server is trying to pull the custom metric from my side?
Based on my understanding, I think our agent actually grab those metrics and send it over to our backend.
Okay, so for custom metrics, I don't need to specify any targeting server, right? I just expose myself.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
I can double check with our product team.
Okay, and the server is inside the specific IKS cluster or outside the IKS cluster?
It doesn't really matter. Like I said, your agent can run anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Your agent can run anywhere. The SaaS offering is running on IKS. It's just a way. It's actually just a way for you to view those metrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Metric, where does metric come from? It doesn't really matter, because Sysdig SaaS offerings already provide you a single point, the endpoint.
Okay.
The agent can send the metrics to.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, thank you.
Well, all right. That was great discussions. So thanks, Sushang, again for the overview further discussions. Any other questions? If not, we can move to the next exciting topic in agenda. All right, so I think it should be quick now. So next one is, it's pretty exciting. You know, we've been talking about IBM Cloud Provider Code and, you know, having it available on the external repo in open sourcing. So Richard, would you like to provide updates on that? Just on the progress?
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, as it says on the doc, that we have IBM legal approval to open source the cloud provider. And so what my team has been doing for this 114 release is getting that legal approval done, which Sade helped us with, and then now refactoring and reworking some of the cloud provider code itself for the 114 release in preparation for moving to the cloud controller manager architecture. So we've been working through that and wrapping up the final things we need to get done on our end. And then hopefully with that, we'll be able to start the process of writing the KEP for getting this approved, getting the repo set up, eventually pushing the code, and then setting up the test doc and all those different things that go along with the cloud provider open source requirements. So the next steps for us, after we get the code changes done that we want internally, we are going to then write the KEP, and then that'll lay out the work that we'll have in the community, and if folks are interested in helping out, that will be really great. And we'll keep you posted on the progress of that. I think that we're still a couple weeks out before we'll be ready for that, but we're marching towards that as our end game. And then hopefully in 115 release here, we'll have some type of alpha that folks can play with on the cloud provider side in the community.
Yep, awesome. Thanks, Richard. This is such a great updates there, right? Really good progress.
Yeah.
Yep. Any questions? Anyone? If not, the next thing in the agenda. And hey, as Morgan said, wow, right? Morgan, this is pretty cool. Open sourcing the IBM Cloud Provider code, having it available externally. Morgan, there?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great achievement.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks. The next one is I provided the link here. Our talk, you know, as part of this maintainers track, it's been accepted, and we're going with the 80 minutes marathon session, introduction plus deep dive. We have 4 speakers out there. You know, please take a look at the link right there to get the more information. In the next few meetings, we'll be talking about you know, the content for the presentation at the KubeCon. Other than that, open discussion. If anyone has any topic, anything you want to discuss.
So I'm back on the KubeCon. I know I'm listed as a speaker on that session, but I, at this point, won't be attending. So I don't know if you can back up for me, Sade.
Yep, no, that's absolutely. Thanks for the updates, Richard, and that's totally fine. You know, it's pretty common that many times, you know, a lot of speakers, they, for one or other reasons, right, they cannot attend. So, and that's why actually we have 4 speakers, myself and you and Khalid, and, you know, all the leads and significant contributors. So we should be fine as long as we have 2 speakers, right?
I should be there, Sadev.
Okay. Oh, nice. Awesome. Yep. Thanks, Khalid. So Richard, I think we should be fine. You know, Khalid and myself, and, you know, that should work out well.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks. Anything else? Well, if not, I think this was a really good meeting. Nimesh, you have anything to mention?
No, I just want to thank Shiyong for the presentation. I think it was really good.
Okay. Yep. No, thanks, Nimesh. I totally agree. Shishang, thank you so much again, and we hope you can join the call in future. I know Marky couldn't make it today, but usually he joins the call.
Sure. Yep.
In the future call, I'm actually working out with a technical lead from NetApp. He told me that he many times he's not able to join the call, but he usually watch the videos. So this is one of the video with the SysTig he mentioned he would like to see, and he probably will be trying to talk about from NetApp's perspective, working with the IKS, ICP from the Kubernetes side.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully in the future that we will have that topic come up soon, actually. But yeah, Shishang, thanks again. Thanks everyone for joining the call and discussions. Great call, and we will see ourselves again on this call in 2 weeks.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Cheers.
Bye.